Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Puny Talks, the podcast where we sit down over coffee with business owners, creators, and founders to learn, get inspired, and talk honestly about what it means to build your own thing. And because at the end of the day, being your own boss is more an attitude than a position. So it's like I always say that. And today I'm excited to introduce my first guest, actually, because even though Jennifer's technically my first English guest speaker, normally we speak Spanish. So you are technically my first English speaker. So it's like woo, and actually first international too. So
I'm honored.
yes, yes, ma'am.
But also a disclaimer: English is not either of us first language. So if you say random things, it is our
No worries, no worries. So I want to present to you Veronica Lee, the co-founder and CEO of Borderless.so. She grew up in Uzbekistan, is that correct? Yes, yes, yes. She earned a full ride scholarship to NYU Abu Dhabi. What is that like a university?
It is a university.
What's the Abu Dhabi? Like is there a specialization? Is they specialized on something?
So NYU is New York University.
Yes.
And they have campuses in different countries. So they are one in Abu Dhabi, which is in the UAE. And it's
Interesting.
funny, a lot of people think it's Abu Dubai, and it's like a very common joke for our graduates.
So I
But
pronounced it correct.
yeah, Abu Dhabi, it's the capital of the UAE, actually. So
Interesting.
they have a campus there, and they've been very generous with funding for even international kids because, I've never even been to the UAE or the US before I got into college. So it's
Awesome.
been life-changing.
She turned her journey into a mission-driven edtech company that's helping international students apply to universities worldwide. Borderless was named Product Hunt #1 product of the day.
Right, that was a long time ago. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, when I read that, I was like, oh.
I will tell you a little secret about that later.
Oh, I want those secrets. They have a community over 20K students from 200 countries. And Veronica has built a social following of over 230K followers.
I think there's a little old numbers actually.
It's old? It's a lot
A
more?
little bit more, but
Where,
yeah.
where is it now? Where is it now?
So the user count, it's a little bit tricky because the user base refreshes every single year.
yeah.
But last year we've been used by 200,000 people.
Ooh, that's amazing. That's amazing. So, what's the first thing you ever sold?
It's the first thing I ever sold. That is difficult. So when I was very, very little, I don't maybe 5 or 6, I was a bit into arts and crafts, and then I used to make these small beaded bracelets because
Yeah.
I had a lot of time at home, and I was, I think, blessed enough to be a child without iPads and iPhones and internet.
So you
we
can
have-
play with things?
Yeah. So we actually did things with our hands, and I spent a lot of time outside, and so yeah, I would make these little bracelets, and I tried to sell them to my friends.
Interesting. So
Yeah.
you
It
have
did
the
not go
gene.
well.
So that
Actually, I don't think so. I don't think so.
It didn't go well.
No, it didn't go well. And even now, I realized selling is actually something I struggle with the most
It's
because, yeah,
Uh,
I am, like, by degree, I'm an engineer, so I'm a bit more of a builder. And I have this vision for how I want to make the world a better place. And then when you have to charge people for that, I think there's a little bit of a bit uncomfortable. So that's something actually I'm still really trying to work on this year.
I can relate. I can relate. I'm a software, like I develop software, so
Right.
I'm techie. I like dealing with people, but when it comes to selling, I don't want to feel like cheating or like people out or whatever. But
And especially for us, these are kids.
Yeah.
And, you have the 16-year-old kid who just wants to go to college. And it's been really hard for us to find a business model where we don't have to tell the kid, hey, unless you pay me, I won't help you. Because that is something that I just could not do as a human being. And so that's one of the reasons it took us a very long time to find a good business model and even to monetize.
yeah.
So yeah, that's why I don't think I have a gene, because I'm sure there is a lot of people who were like, you want my help? Pay me. Then that will
I have a friend of mine that's a amazing seller. I know he will be telling me right now, Jonathan, sellers do not lie to people. They just know what they need and get it in front of them,
Which makes sense.
But
Yeah, but I do think there's some like mindset shift that you need to do to be okay with it. And
people see sellers and be like, you shady.
and I think in my country, like, they are shady. It's not.
I think it's everywhere here too.
Yeah.
I get
And I think I also grew up with a bit of stigma around money. So I grew up in a post-Soviet country.
I
It was very much like never ask people about their salaries, never talk about money. My mom was like, don't tell anyone how much I make. And it was such a taboo subject. And so even let's say cards, like I only got my first debit card when I went to college. So up until out of high school, I only had a little bit of cash. And so I think all of that also kind of piled up with your even discomfort with money. And so it took me, still taking me a long time to just be very much like, okay, business actually has to generate profit to be sustainable, to pay people and to scale. And it took time.
it took time. You said engineering, computer engineering
I did
or
mechanical engineering.
mechanical engineering?
Yeah.
Also, what specialization?
I didn't do like a special, because I only did undergrad.
Okay.
So it was still just mechanical engineering. But something I was very interested in is more like consumer products. Something that I can give you and you can touch and you can smell and you can.
Yeah, like designing products, like the packaging.
Exactly.
I get.
So that whole experience of just bringing joy to people is something that I found really fun.
You like to build stuff and you like to solve things for people. That's part of like what business owners, entrepreneurs in the end, that's what we do, right? There's a problem and then we want to build something or give something to them so they can.
Exactly. I think that's the fundamental principle here. I mean, in my role, I'm a lot more on the marketing and content side, which is how we met with Alex. Because like my
Alex, they want to steal you, I know.
Yeah, no, my co-founder was like, there's another content creator, like you should talk to him. So yeah, now I do a lot more of that because he codes better. So we were like, between the two of us, you should probably code and I should do other things. But I think at my core, I just want to build cool products and bring joy to people.
Yeah, I get it. And we can get enticed in that and forget how it's selling and it's like goodbye. Yeah, I get the problem. My business partner always was, Jonathan, we gotta go sell. I'm like, but I'm building.
It's fun.
Stop it.
Yeah, I think it's always like this push and pull.
I get it. So, what is it like being is it normal? I don't know how common it is like to go to NYU Abu Dhabi. Is it like, were you are there more people from Uzbekistan? Were you the only one from Uzbekistan there?
In my year, I was the only one.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a pretty new school. So when I got in,
How far are you from like Uzbekistan, like the university?
So Uzbekistan to like Dubai was about 3.5 hour flight.
Okay, so you're like,
there was no direct flight to Abu Dhabi, so I actually had to go through Russia, which is like you go.
so you went alone, no family, just you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was fine. I was really excited.
Let's go.
Yeah, you know, a lot of like international students, they're like, oh, we're about homesickness. It wasn't hard. I'm like, nah.
No. I'm not sick. I'm cheering.
Yeah, it was amazing. But
how was that experience? Did you enjoy it?
It was awesome. I mean, I wouldn't be promoting this idea so much unless I had a really good experience.
A good experience. Yeah. So at some point, I read something that you had an experience with a counselor that influenced you on your mission. Was that wrong? What I read or?
So my counselor, I think, is the reason I was able to get into that university because acceptance rate is 4%.
Oh,
it's very low.
Oh.
And
don't worry about it.
Even people who apply, they're already very qualified, right? It's like unless you have high enough scores, you're not even trying to apply.
Okay.
It's like 4% from really qualified people. And I did well in high school and I think I'm smart enough. But I never felt like, oh, I'm like the Ivy League material. And so I really do think that I was able to get in because I had this counselor who was very aware of this university and he knew that they provide full scholarships. And so when I got into university, I'm like, oh, other people don't have such counselors. And, maybe there are other people from Uzbekistan who could have been here with me, only they didn't know. And so, yeah, that kind of inspired the whole mission of like democratizing international admissions and education.
So
Yeah.
how did you go into business? Like, how did that go? Like, I went to university, I'm going to study engineering, and then all of a sudden, Borderless.
It took time as well.
Okay.
So I think when I was in university, I started getting interested in startups in general. So I would read, Zero to One,
Yeah.
a very famous book. So I read that. I read some biographies of like Steve Jobs and it just sounded like a really fun world. And so when I was thinking of my job as an engineer, I thought I would go work at a startup. Because what attracted me is the fact that it moves fast and you could have a lot of ownership over things that you do.
I love that you work, because a lot of enterprise people work, but they never feel they're doing like something important or whatnot.
Yeah. And I think sometimes like you don't know what's the relationship between your input and
And the
the
product.
output.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I get
it's like maybe you're doing a terrible job, but you just don't know that.
Press the button, something happens.
Yes,
So
yeah, something exactly, but like you don't see the consequences. So I didn't like that, and I'm like, if I did a good job, I want to know I did a good job. If I screwed up, I want to suffer.
you want to know.
I want to know, yeah. So I wanted to go into startups, but I was pretty set on like I will work as an engineer. I will just go into that career, which I did. I had 2 jobs as an engineer.
Okay.
Yeah, I worked one online at like a Swedish
While studying too?
company.
Or after?
I started the first one while studying, it was like
Okay.
an internship, and then I moved to full time.
Yeah.
And then I moved to Japan, and then I worked there at a company also on site full time. But what's good, both were startups. And so that gives you a very good understanding of what this world is like. And you also realize how it's not nearly as glamorous as people portray it to be.
Oh, I know the feeling.
Yeah, and so, especially the company in Japan, because I was there in person every day, I could really see what's going on inside. And I could see how the CEO is really stressed and how they work really, really hard and how it's not like free drinks and parties like at Google Office or something. I don't know. I feel like I had a very good understanding of this whole world. And then, so me and my co-founder started the first business when we were selling Japanese tea, matcha. Maybe you
Yeah.
do you know the name? Yeah,
Yes.
that was like really popular. At the time, it wasn't because it was 2020, 2021 maybe. And so because I was already on social media at the time a little bit.
I've always been like I'm an anime fan, so Japanese culture in general, I'm very familiar.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Yes. So I've always loved matcha. I kept drinking it and I would show it on my social media. And then my followers were like, oh, where can I get it? Because at the time it really was not available outside. And so the very first business was us selling matcha. Which
Yeah,
is
it was
very simple.
yeah,
just-
it was harder. Like you have to go online and look for specific places, but it's not like accessible.
Yeah. And even what was available, it was pretty poor quality.
Yeah.
And so when even I would show the color of the tea, they were like, oh my God, mine looks
Naush.
yeah, like it's so bad. Why is it like orange or dark green? And then mine was a beautiful bright green, fresh matcha. And so people were really excited. And that's how we started the first business. And it was quite fun because it's such a down to earth business. Like
Yeah.
you buy tea of the supplier, you package it, you brand it, and you sell it. So it was a very good introduction. It was very simple. Like now what we do, it's so complicated. But before it's like, oh, just sell tea. So I felt like it was pretty good, where it didn't freak me out in the beginning because
Because the product wasn't overwhelming, or
yeah,
it didn't.
exactly. I think it was very clear what you have to do, right? Like you buy tea, you market tea, you sell tea. That's about it. I think now it's really complex, right? Like if you have a tech company with many different moving parts, sometimes you're just like, what to do? There's too many things that are wrong and like falling.
That's my life every day. I'm like,
Yeah, so I think it was a very good entry point. It's like, oh, this is something that's simple, but also it was really fun because we got really creative. We would also actually buy like soft boxes and shoot like videos of me whisking the matcha and post them on the internet. And then we did the whole Shopify website. So many of these marketing, like selling things we tried to do, but on a simple scale. So it was pretty fun.
But I imagine that all these like different startups, right? Like or businesses
Yeah,
taught you a lot.
for sure. For sure. Yeah.
When at what point does Borderless become a thing, or like, because I think it became as a blog, right?
Yeah, exactly. So when I was in college, I started blogging about admissions. Because again, as I mentioned, I was the only Uzbek person at that school. And when I go on the internet and I say, hey guys, I go to NYU, and they pay me like $320,000 because that's how much it costed. It was $80K per year.
What is it?
So, and I went for free to the point where my food was paid for.
And everybody's like, how do I do that?
Exactly. It's like, it sounds almost too good to be true. So that attracted quite a bit of attention. So I would post about, this is how to write essays and these are the tests. But it was always a side thing because I had this whole engineering thing going
I
on.
see.
And then, so we had this matcha business. But then when COVID happened, the international shipping stopped from Japan.
So
And then,
so you finish university, you're writing the blog,
yeah.
you move to Japan at some
Yeah.
point, you're still writing the blog,
Yeah.
you're doing the whole influencer, talking,
Yeah.
convincing people, and then COVID.
Yeah. So essentially, I moved to Japan. I have the engineering job. I still do the blog.
Yes.
Then we have this matcha business. I still do the blog. And then because of COVID, the matcha business kind of went downhill because who wants to wait for 4 months.
So since the point you started the blog in college to point to the Japan, how much time was that?
So I started in junior year of university, so 2 years of university and then 2 more years in Japan.
So you
It's been a
just
while.
okay.
While.
So you were just blogging at that point. Were you like monetizing, or were you just doing it because you liked it?
It was definitely because I liked it. I tried to monetize, but it was really difficult.
So you were just like doing it and just kept doing it. And
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I had a few like people would reach out for consultations or for like one-on-one service. So I did a bit here and there, but
Consulting a little bit on the side.
yeah, but I didn't even have an entity, or I didn't like it was not a business. It was
Yeah, it was more like, can you help me? I can pay you for my
Exactly,
time, and that's it.
yeah.
I get it.
And I was undercharging.
Yeah, I imagine.
Now I'm like, oh my god, that was very cheap.
I'm like, it's okay.
Yeah.
Learning lessons
But yeah,
learned.
I think that's how I became a good counselor. That I can now do what I do. Like you have to do it for free to actually get good at something.
You heard that, guys? You heard that? Sometimes you gotta do things for free while you perfect. I always tell people, because everybody asks me, Jonathan, how do I start? Right? And I always tell people, sometimes you just have to just do it for free until you figure out what you're good at, you perfect what your service, and then you get a reputation.
Exactly.
And then you go little by little raising
Yeah.
the prices until you are wherever it is that you need to be.
Yeah. And then ideally you create a product where you stop selling your time.
And then
Do
that
something
product does
scalable.
the thing, and you don't have to
Exactly,
sell
exactly.
you.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
People don't. People always get scared
Mm.
because I'm not how to starting. And a friend of mine a long time ago says the difference between an employee and a business owner or an entrepreneur is that the entrepreneur is willing to work for free.
That's very true. Yeah.
And normally people that are employees will never do that.
Yeah.
Not because they don't want to. Okay, they can't. It's just that they say it. No, I need the money, and I get it, right?
Yeah.
But entrepreneurs risk that time, and that later on is turned into
Yeah.
an opportunity.
Yeah. But I think it's good. It was very good for me to not think of it in the sense of, oh, I'm working for free.
You were just
Like,
enjoying what you're
Yeah,
doing.
just doing it, like I really want to help people. I have the time. And it was also quite creative because, I mean, Alex definitely knows if you're on social, it's not just plain delivery of information. Like there's so much fun you can have with it. Yeah, you have to plan it, but then I mean, actually, when I started, Instagram was very simple. It was like square posts with a caption, no reels, no stories, no complicated algorithms, but it was still quite fun. So you
See, that's probably me, Alex. If I were to start without you, that would just be me starting. And we're like,
yeah, but I think now like it's really fun. Like you can
do a
do
lot.
so much, yeah, and I think it's really really fun. So there's definitely ways to make like work fun, even if maybe
Because there was alignment. Because another thing that is very important that I always tell people, if you start a business for the money, you will not go anywhere. Not because you're bad or anything. It's because there's so much suffering. And by suffering, I just mean like bad things happening.
Right.
That if you don't love what you're doing,
Yeah.
you love what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're like,
sure.
it was aligned with what you like.
Yeah.
And even though
Yeah.
maybe there was no money, you were happy just doing it.
Yeah.
And that's important, just to like keep going and keep going.
Yeah. I mean, I do think there's different ways. There's different reasons people come into business.
Of course.
And I think I can see you're also very mission driven and we came to help somebody versus to monetize. And maybe that's why, I mean, I don't know your financials, but like, we're struggling. And I think that's
I am not rich.
the- yeah, but
Like I am, but what do I say? All my money at one point in my life, I stopped having a house, an apartment, to use the money from the apartment to just invest it in the company. And I was sleeping in my car in my office. So I know the feeling.
But like we take this pain because we're like, oh, the mission is important. But also, I have met people who are like, oh, I have the skill. I think maybe if you have a very particular skill, like let's say you're a really good photographer, and I would say, hey, I want to work for a year and have some photography agency and then do something else. And I've seen people who would actually earn enough money to pay for their master's degree or to move, which all I think is valid, but you just need to know what type are you. Because if you are the mission type like we are, you definitely got to be in it for long term.
Yeah, definitely. Because if not, you won't survive.
Yeah, exactly.
I get you. Yeah. So, how from a blog? Because I think COVID is a key important factor here. Went to like for just a blog to like a platform or like helping people all around the world. How that what happened there?
So COVID was when the matcha business stopped because like we can't ship anything internationally, so we got to do something else. And that's when we were like, oh, what's something that I've been doing for at that point like 5 years ish. And I think I was starting to realize that if I really like this is a very big problem we're trying to solve. Like extremely complicated problem. It's like how do you actually make education equitable? And how do you fight this idea that only if you have access to resources you can go to college? Like it's a very just such a complicated problem that you realize, oh, if you only post videos for 2 hours a week, you won't really fix it. Like you might help a few individuals, but you want to actually make a dent in the universe.
Of course.
And it was actually my co-founder who's like, okay, what if we were actually to put 100% of effort? He also was. Yeah, maybe we can actually do something more fundamental. And that's when we actually went through like a series of different ideas, but Borderless was first a website with other people's blogs, which like I know sounds very simple, but because I've been running it for so long, I knew that people resonated with my story and they could relate to me. And then the first idea was, what if we take more people from different backgrounds and share their stories about them going abroad and getting scholarships? Then we can make certain mindset shift in other people.
Because you're not just you're not an exception. You're just
Exactly.
there's more people,
There's more people.
and you can be one too.
Exactly. So the whole idea was, let's say if I tell you Canadian person got into Harvard, you'd be like, so what? Like, I don't care. But if I tell you, hey, a Puerto Rican person from your village went to Harvard,
Then be like, what? What's up?
exactly. So that's the kind of motivation that we wanted to create for people.
Yeah.
So we made this whole website and we did a lot of interviews and we were like, okay, we just want everybody to believe they can go abroad. So that was first like a free website with a lot of content. And then AI tools started to come out, like GPT-4, like 3.5 first came out. And at that time, we grew quite a bit user base where people were like, okay, I can see that I can go abroad, but how do I actually do it? And they would start asking for actual help with their applications. And so then we moved into building tools. Yeah, and they were like, oh, we need to make money. So then let's think about monetization. So we started to work with universities and it kind of, I think, snowballed. Yeah, exactly. Like now I think the business sounds really cool, like end-to-end AI-powered platform,
But at the moment you were like,
yeah, it's a blog. It's a free website where you can read stuff. And I think sometimes it kind of feels like we took a lot of time to get to this point, but then also every step, it had to be there,
I get it. Because like with us, so puny people just hear, oh, build websites. Like, and it's simple, and it is important that, right?
Yeah.
But when you unite where we're going, I think we're going through a transition. So it's similar to like, it is gonna be something else because people see it and we see it as different. But you have to go through the trenches,
for sure,
and you have to go building and trying and iterating until you find that thing that helps them get to where you want them, right?
Yeah, and especially now, I mean, with AI, I do think every other week we're like, oh, we can also do this one and we can do this thing, and that was just physically impossible.
Yeah,
even
before it was that.
Yeah, so it's very, very fun time to build businesses. I think it's really fun, especially if you have some technical skill. Yeah.
Definitely. So did you was it a lot harder than you expected, like when you started like saying like, okay, let's do it full time and whatnot? Was it a lot more than you expected, or you like the threshold of pain that you knew that was gonna occur, you already knew? What was it?
It was a lot harder. Yeah.
It was a lot harder than you
Yeah, it was
like,
but I think it's kind of like like it gets harder as you go, but you're also getting more resilient. So overall, I think I'm now at a point where it's a bit like, give me whatever. Like, I don't care. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure like some stuff, if an employee quits, I'll probably break down and cry for a week and you won't see me.
Actually, I was gonna ask you that. Was there a point? What was the lowest point that you would say? I thought about not just stopping because everything went to shit. Like at some point. And if you can't speak about it, it's okay.
No, I'm genuinely very open to sharing anything. I would say I've never had, like I would often go to Shun and be like, we should quit.
Oh,
But then deep down,
you would often say it. Oh, this not working, or
yeah. But also deep down, I know that I would not quit.
yeah.
You know, so I think
You were just venting.
yeah, exactly. So I just need to say it because sometimes you really feel like what the hell? Like, this is
Yeah.
terrible.
I get it. Sometimes I tell myself, I have friends earning $350 a year in New York from 8 to 5. Then they go to parties and and I'm here Saturday working and working and working.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get the feeling. One always asks themselves, but in the end, I wouldn't do anything else.
Yeah, I think deep down I know I wouldn't quit. And I think to me what's important is that like I still have ideas. I think if I reach a point where I literally don't have a way, like I don't know what to fix and what to improve, that's maybe when I'll quit.
Yeah.
But every time when something fails, I'm like, oh, but we can do this and we can do that. And so until I try all these options,
Yeah.
but they keep
When the well comes dry, then maybe I'll stop. But
yeah, but every time it's like, oh, but what about that idea? And so it never ends. And maybe that's also a bit of like self-inflicted suffering where you're just running in this wheel.
It's a funny story. Misa's gonna hate me for this, but so my developer, when we started using AI a while back, we were using it and everything's just happening quicker. And he's like, but Jonathan, we start using this, then there's nothing to do. And I just looked at him, I'm like, boy, there's always something to do. Then like now we can do more.
Yeah.
And he just looks at me like the well's never gonna go dry.
Yeah. So
You can suffer quicker.
Yeah. But I wonder if there is a point,
Then you stop.
But but I don't know what that is. And
I always say, I tell this to, because he asked me once, oh, when do we stop building? And I'm like, it's not about that if you stop building or not. Is that if there are no more problems, then there's nothing to build.
Yeah, that's
But-
an interesting point.
But in my point of view, there will always be problems.
Probably.
So if there's always a problem,
Yeah.
there's always something to do.
Yeah.
If it's to be built or not, but I don't know. You talk about it, but I don't think you ever finish. Maybe you can get tired.
Yeah.
And that's
I think
okay.
that definitely makes
You
sense.
can get tired of the problem, and that happens, right? You fall in love with the problem and fall out. But I think as long as you love the problem and the problem exists,
Yeah.
there's always something to do.
For sure. And I think we have such big problems. Like you're trying to empower every single person to work for themselves.
So there will always
that's-
be, and everybody has a different problem. I'll die and it will not be solved.
Exactly. I
But
was
if
gonna
I
say, in
can-
our lifetime, it's probably not enough to like really get there.
But we're happy just trying to do it, right?
Yeah. We do what we can. Exactly. Yeah.
And in the end, what is that? That's just the mindset. Like, I always tell people, like, Jonathan, how do you wake up in the morning and do what you do and whatnot? And I tell people, you have to really, really like what you do.
Yeah. And it has to be fun.
That's why I always tell people, don't fall in love with the product. The
For sure.
product will fail, will shift,
Yeah.
it will change.
Yeah.
But if you fall in love with the problem, even like, let's say I sell Puny for some reason because somebody wants to buy it and I sell it. Just because I sold Puny doesn't mean I want to change the problem I love.
Right.
I can do something else
Yeah.
to solve the problem, all right?
Yeah.
Because the problem wasn't solved, it just sold the company.
Yeah.
So in the end, it doesn't matter. That's why I always tell people, stop falling in love with your product. What's the problem you want to solve?
Definitely.
And sometimes people look at me like, what are you saying?
Yeah, no,
this is
I've
the
seen that
company.
a lot. Yeah.
And they tell me, but this is the company. I'm like, no. The company value is around, if you can't see the difference, then we need to fix it. Because that way you'll suffer less in the future.
For sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And question, what do you do? Like, what does a normal work day for you look like? And in terms of like, being your own boss, like
Yeah.
trying to keep your day in balance. How does that look?
So I would say I don't believe in the work-life balance necessarily, but not like in a toxic
I'm not promoting.
way.
I'm not promoting
I
non-balance.
want to elaborate really because, like,
I think it's
not-
different for everybody.
It's different in the sense of I think work-life balance is a very old concept where you actually, like, you go to a job that you just have to go to provide for your family, and then it's usually very manual, like non-creative jobs. So
Yeah.
say if you work at a factory. Well, of course, you want to be done by 5 p.m. because you're freaking tired and you want to go see your family. So that's a pretty old concept that I think now is not relevant because
The type of job is different.
our job is very creative. And so
We
the-
thrive.
Exactly.
We
And
thrive.
I remember, like as a kid, let's say you go to school and then you come back and then in your free time you paint or you learn how to code, or like you do these fun things. Now we do the same, only it's work. Like, and it's
I
like,
believe
what's the separation here, you know?
sometimes people call me a workaholic. I actually was once in a cruise ship, and
Fancy.
I paid for the internet
Okay.
just to be able to work. And everybody in my family was really pissed.
Yeah,
And I was like, but I need,
yeah.
Wait.
And like, it's fun.
and I enjoy it. I don't see it as work, and it is work because sometimes you get mad. Sometimes
Yeah.
things happen,
Yeah.
but I don't see it. It doesn't feel
Yeah.
heavy.
Yeah, for sure.
The pressure is more like where the money's coming from, and well, that's work. You know what I mean?
Difficult conversation.
Selling, that's work.
Yeah. No, but I think there's definitely blocks of things that you don't want to do that you just have to do. So maybe it's about balancing. So I think we each have certain things we're really good at and we really enjoy. So for example, content for me is really fun. I love talking, but then if I ask Shun, he's gonna hate it. Like to him, that's misery. It's like you have to speak to back of the phone and you have to be very elaborate and you have to find good lighting. Like he would hate it. And
So
to
I
me,
like
that's not
this.
fun.
So when it comes to content,
Yeah.
Alex is over there. So when it comes to content, I like this. So
Yeah.
I like being with people, but me alone talking to a camera,
Yeah.
I don't hate it, but it's like it's something I'm not used to.
Yeah. So I think that's why you do this.
Yes.
And he does the other.
Yes.
So I think it's important to double down on things you're actually maybe more naturally good at and have a balance.
I would prefer, like literally, I would prefer like if I'm gonna be the content, like just me, I would prefer him to just be like recording me, and I don't need to like think, and I just do what
you
I
don't
do.
even know it's there.
Yeah, and I would prefer that over me talking to a camera because I feel cringy, but it's just me.
No,
Right? I'm not used to it.
you're natural.
But I'm trying. I'm doing my best, Alex. But it is fun. It is fun. Like and more people should try it because this is where the magic happens.
Yeah.
And I think like we learn, we grow, we like every day I meet amazing people from all around the world, and it's
That's a
like
good excuse to have conversations with people.
yes, it's like
Yeah.
I want to do more of this. I'm like yeah. So question, what do you do when you're having a bad day and like everything went to shit, and like how do you bounce back? Do you have like a routine that helps you, or something that's just like you do that, I don't know, sports or
Do you want an honest answer?
oh you don't?
No, I cry.
Oh, it's okay.
Like often.
You just ice cream?
I try not to because then I get acne and then I cry more and this is the whole thing. But no, I think I don't hold things, and maybe it's because I think as a female maybe it's a little bit easier. But genuinely, sometimes I would cry multiple times a day, and then in between these cries,
You
I
need
would
to do
call.
it. I get it. I'm more of the time. I'm emotional in the sense that I say what I say.
Right.
I feel what I feel. Sometimes there's a lot of emotions. And my business partner be like, Jonathan.
But I find that it helps because you kind of let it out and you cry for 10 minutes and then you're like, okay, finished.
I have so I do martial arts. So I do martial arts just
kind?
because I kung fu. Yeah, I love Wing Chun.
Okay.
And I love martial arts as in it's a way of like stress. Like
Yeah. I mean, yeah, physical activity is the best. I also try to do.
I always tell everybody to find something, whatever, biking or whatever sport, like something physical.
Yeah.
Because I learned that, like for example, if we do creative work and it's a lot of brain power.
Yeah.
So normally when you rest, let's say you go watch Netflix, you're not resting
That's true.
because you're still
Yeah.
using.
It's not engaging enough, I think.
So I was taught that you have to switch tasks.
Yeah.
So if you've been doing creative stuff all day,
Right.
you have to do something physical to rest.
Yeah. No, that's definitely
brain.
true. Yeah. And I think for me, I love doing sports, and I learned that I really enjoy more, not extreme, but something that's very intense. It's like going to the gym to me, it's quite boring because I don't push myself hard enough to really not think about things. But if I know I go, like I used to do dance a lot when I was in Japan. Yeah.
I saw something. I saw something about love of dance for balance. Yes. In your daily TikTok. Yeah.
And then I also went to a pretty difficult class, it was really hard. And like in the sense that the choreography is so quick where I'm like putting 100% of my attention just to keep up with the class. And so really for this whole hour,
Like it was,
like,
it was distracting. It was
yeah,
distracting.
yeah. But for the whole hour, I have zero thought about business or anything because I'm just so in the moment. And so if I do, like, I did a lot of basketball in high school for like 8 years. And so also it's like such an intense game. So I'm like, if I work out, I want
suck
to
at basketball.
exhaust myself.
So I'm a nerd. I got like 3.99. I got 1F basketball. It's a long story, but it's very frustrating. And I'm tall.
You are
I'm 6'1" and I suck at
That's
basketball.
funny.
But
Yeah, I'm
anyway.
not that good too. It was so fun. So yeah, I would recommend people to find something that really is so intense that you have no choice but to be present. Like you can't taking a walk is nice, but for example, like running to me, it doesn't do it. Like I can run and think.
So
you
did you do you do it? So is this a thing you're doing? So I was reading that you have a thing in TikTok that you did something about the dancing and whatnot.
Yeah,
Is that a thing you do? Like,
now because I'm here, it's also I live around co-working space and there's literally nothing around. But yeah, that's something when I can, I try to do it. Like in winter, I try to snowboard. And also it's such an intense experience where you're just trying to survive on this freaking mountain.
Alex, we got to get her with your friends. So Alex does a lot of like theater and acting and whatnot. So maybe he knows the dancing people.
I will talk to you.
Yeah. So maybe you can get that out of the system.
Yeah, and it's also just so fun. And I think dance is something like if you think being in front of camera is cringe, like try going to class when you're bad. Like that is the most humbling experience of my life. Like genuinely, nothing embarrasses you more. But then once you get over it, you're like you can do anything.
Do you have a type of dance that's your favorite?
I do hip hop.
Hip hop?
Yeah. No, I'm
Interesting.
telling you, like if
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
gotta be into like you gotta sweat.
It's gotta-
Like you gotta crawl out of the.
What's your favorite? Do you have a favorite song you like to dance to?
I don't think so. I
As-
kind of recently enjoyed K-pop, which is not something I thought I would say.
It's okay. A lot of people like. I like K-pop. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's kind of
pretty nice.
catchy, and also I don't get the lyrics,
Me neither.
so I don't
like
have to think about what they're saying. I just like ooh.
That's why I tell people I just focus on the music. Yeah,
So
I get you. I get you.
yeah, so I really want to, and also my co-founder, he's quite outdoorsy, so he was telling me, oh, we should, try to do a bit again more like extreme, not extreme, but something a bit more challenging. Maybe not just hiking, but more like trekking and then like really tall mountains. So we want to do more of that.
Interesting.
really-
Interesting. So
I like to.
actually, out of curiosity, your co-founder Sean,
Yeah.
like, how'd you guys like meet? Was it like
University
in the university?
in
Like
Abu Dhabi.
in Abu Dhabi? Oh,
Like he's
okay.
Japanese, so
Oh, okay.
it's a little random.
His name is Sean, just so you guys know. Actually, I met Sean first than you because
Yeah.
he was here for a while.
Yeah.
He's very
Man doesn't need a
quiet.
visa.
It was I remember the first day we were here, we told him like because he was emphasizing like I'm not the CEO. I don't know, it's okay, but nobody.
He's a lot more. He's usually behind the scenes,
Yeah,
and also when it comes to the actual problem, it's a lot more my pain point because
you're the one with the passion. He just likes to build things.
Yeah. He definitely. I mean, he told me that he did not realize how much of an issue it is until he spent a lot of time with me
Because he went through the same thing.
he did. But I think for me, to be very honest, going to good university was almost matter of survival because I wanted to do mechanical engineering. If you go to LinkedIn and you look mechanical engineering jobs in Uzbekistan, there's nothing. Like there's nothing. So it's like
So if you did not
go
leave,
out to do something, yeah. But then for him, Japan there's so many more opportunities. So in his mind, he was like, "Oh, I just want to experience a different culture." So it wasn't such a desperate need to leave.
yeah,
So we came from slightly different perspectives,
to
but
the same place but for different reasons.
yeah. But I think then as he spent more time with me, and he also sees how the struggle continues, even like coming here.
He didn't know how hard it was for other people.
Yeah. Even visa, like it's such a. It's so ridiculous because
it's
I
a very
missed
hard-
the half of the program, and even within Japan, I had to fly to Okinawa, which is 3-hour flight, for a 5-minute interview at the U.S. embassy, to prove that I can come here. And
I
I
get
paid $160 for DSV, and it's the whole
sometimes.
piece is like,
So
why?
I sometimes I'm not aware because like normally I never needed to go out and get a visa, but normally I know that US is more complicated,
Yeah, it's very complicated.
and I never knew how hard it is.
Yeah,
So
and it's funny, right? Like, we are from the same university, we run the same company, only he can just get on the plane and come in. And I had to plan it about 4 months in advance.
that's hard.
Yeah, and my visa is only for 1 year. So next year I cannot come again and I have to do the whole
It's
thing.
like all over again.
Yeah, and so it's very, I think you don't realize it unless you are very close with a person with like a shitty passport. To be honest. And that's just what it is. And so,
It's sad sometimes, but
yeah,
I get it.
yeah.
Do you know when I heard some friends of mine when we heard about Borderless, we were like, okay, but what's the problem? So like, but
Yeah.
they didn't get it.
Yeah, yeah,
So-
yeah. It takes time.
So if you live here and you want to go normally to study somewhere, normally, like it's pretty easy for at least for us.
Yeah,
But a lot of people don't realize how much privilege like
yeah.
you have
yeah,
just being here.
yeah.
That other people are a lot harder, so they don't see the problem. And that's another thing. You created a company for a problem that some people say don't exist, right? And then you're like, oh, it exists.
Yeah, let me tell it.
It exists. You just don't.
Well, it's interesting.
You're
Actually,
not on the wrong side.
yeah, but American students are starting to see it, especially this year, because it's been a turbulent year, and a lot of them are like, maybe I should go study somewhere else. And then they're like, oh, but I have no idea how to do it. Oh, my credits don't transfer. Oh, I need to do this exam that I've never heard about. And that's like, okay, now.
See, you see,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
see.
So, yeah, of course, it's more complicated for some people than others, but eventually, if you want to go outside, it just tends to be a bit complicated.
I always tell people the more you travel, the more you realize, like how the world's different,
Yeah,
and then how you have to put yourself in other people's shoes
for sure.
to be able to
Yeah.
see the problems. Because sometimes we don't want to, because we don't travel enough.
Yeah. And I love how they brought us here for a pretty long time, because I do think if you spend a week in a country, like, you
Not
don't
enough.
see much. Yeah, you're just in a hotel, but if you spend like a month and you really try to commute and you try to shop in local places and you try to open a bank account, suddenly like, oh, that's what it's like. And yeah, your mind expands a lot for sure.
So in terms of success, what does that mean to you besides money? Like,
Yeah.
how do you determine I'm successful, or how do you qualify somebody successful? Because sometimes people say if there's no money, there's no success, and I don't think that's true. But is there a different way? How do you define success? Like, how do you determine
Yeah.
I'm doing
That's
doing
such a
good?
good question. I think there's definitely like personal level success and then the company level.
Yes.
On the personal level, I think it's pretty simple that I want to wake up healthy and happy and excited for the day and not dread my work, like
Interesting.
Monday blues
Very
kind of
simple.
thing. But also, I think being healthy and happy is very important.
No, I get it.
I am very successful, but I have a chronic disease from undersleeping or eating shit, then I don't think that's not worth it for me. So healthy, happy is very important. Rich, hopefully. But yeah, so I think I just want to wake up and be like, I'm excited to live today and to do the work that I do with the people. Like I wanna work on things I wanna work on with the people that I enjoy, being in the place that I enjoy. I think
I like
it's like
that.
sounds simple, but it's very hard to achieve.
Yes,
It's
yes.
very difficult.
Because the three have to what I work, where I work, with who.
Yeah,
You know,
it's hard.
those three. It sounds simple, but at the end, it's not as
It's hard,
simple.
it's hard.
Like, I like it. I like how you defined it. Like, there's no money involved. It's just like,
But I don't know, do you have like a financial? Because some people have asked me, it's like how much, and I don't really have.
a number that you would say, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, like I don't know, have you thought about that?
I've always said, or this is my view. I wish I had enough money that I don't have to think about it.
Right. Yeah.
What's that number? Like, I just want to wake up, pay my things.
Yeah.
And I don't mean luxury. I just mean like I go to buy my food. I go to pay
But
my
like if you don't have time, you can order the food. I would be like, oh my god.
I can, put gas. I'm not thinking how much is in the bag. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I need enough. If I can have that,
Mm-hmm.
whatever number that is. If it's 100,000, fine. If it's 200, whatever. But I just want to not think about
Yeah, no,
what I want.
freedom, I guess.
Yes.
Someone said,
I want to be a slave to my wallet.
yeah, wait, there was this phrase someone said that money, it was something like money doesn't solve all problems, but it solves all money problems. And so, like rent is a money problem, insurance is a money problem, travel is a money problem. So actually all of these can be solved. Like relationships, probably not, but a lot of the money.
Yeah. I just want to be, for example, if I have those three things that you said, right?
Mm.
And I'm in all the right places, and I don't have to, because it's not that I want to buy everything. Like, oh, yeah, no. It's just, the normal things.
Yeah.
I pay my bills. I have a phone. I can, I can go where I want and not, worry.
Yeah.
Oh, is it gonna break my bank? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I have that,
Yeah.
I will be happy.
Yeah.
I would say that's rich
Yeah.
for me.
It is. I
Like,
think so.
and I know that's gonna be stupid for a lot of people, but again, that's without being ambitious, without being like, oh, I wanna travel the world, and that's okay. Wherever if you got the money, right?
Yeah.
But I'm happy enough that I don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
I think that's rich enough for me.
I love that. Yeah.
So, what's one lesson that you had to learn the hard way?
Too many, I think. Maybe the hardest of all was that things take so much time, a lot longer than you think, and you just have to be really patient.
Yeah.
Because something I'm learning is like whatever we want to do, it gets done. It just gets done sometimes like 2 years later. And it's a long period of time.
Yeah.
And I think especially, when you read the 0 to 1 and TechCrunch, it's like, oh,
Everything sounds short.
yeah, it's like, oh, I mean, especially now with AI, I think it's even worse. It's like,
Yeah.
vibe coded your app, raised 6 million a week later.
And everybody gets nervous. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah. And so you feel, I think all this noise just block it.
Yep.
So I think it really does take time. It takes time for you to learn the things that you have to learn. It takes time for you to test your ideas. It takes time for the market to receive your solution. And I think there are no shortcuts. Maybe sometimes, depending on the resources or the state of technology, but for most people, there's no shortcut. And especially for consumer businesses, like I can't get like one client and make it. Like I just need 1 million people to use it, and there's no shortcut to reaching 1 million people and making them love what you do, unless, I don't know, Beyonce endorses Borderless, which is not gonna happen, right? So I think learning that there's no shortcut and that it's not not a sprint, but it's a marathon of like 10 to 20 years of your life. It's been quite hard because I think so. I'm still below 30, and there, the Forbes 30 under 30. Like for some reason, I think 2 years ago, I was very attached to this. I'm like, I need to make it. Like I must make it by 30. And then I think when I was realizing, oh, it actually takes so long, when I calculated, I'm like, oh, I might not make it. And I got really sad. I'm like, damn, it's just too slow. And now I'm like, okay, I think I came to terms that it's going to take time. And that's why it's important that it's fun in the moment. But you can't expect quick things because it's very unsustainable and just not a way to build.
I heard once that whatever it is that you want to do and whatever amount of time you think it will take, triple that, it'll probably be closer to the real time.
Yeah, exactly.
And I never understood that until like, you start doing this. I'm 36. I started when I was pretty much 25, 24, consulting, freelancing.
Have you had a job?
No. Like per se, like working for somebody else? No.
Interesting.
So I started literally out of like college, and I just started freelancing.
I see.
So I just started. So I've worked for people, but as a freelancer, nobody's ever
like
given me a
office,
that I had to be like full time with someone. No, never done that.
Interesting.
It's my business partner. Like, he always says like, that's why you lack knowledge, and it's like, but it's cool because I always say that I always come thinking of things fresh. I'm not constrained by the system, but sometimes because I don't know the system, it's like.
Yeah.
But that's why I have him, and my business partner just gives me that knowledge of the side. But in the end, what advice would you give somebody starting today? especially like
Yeah.
everything happening, all the AI, and everybody's going like, oh,
Yeah.
God.
Oh,
Like,
many things, many things. Can I give multiple?
yeah, no problem.
One, circling back to what we said in the beginning, I think you actually gotta have some value to provide to people. And I think there's a lot of like info gurus or like take one thing, repackage it and sell it. And I think there's some quick money to be made. But again, we talked more about like long-term sustainable mission-driven businesses. To do that, you actually need to have certain value you can provide to people that comes from experience, skills, expertise. Like you gotta have something. So if you don't see how you can be helpful to people, maybe figure that out first before you start packaging that. Like don't sell air, I guess that's what I'm saying. I think a lot of people sell air and I'm very annoyed by it. I think it just kind of ruins the whole industry of like maybe consulting or freelancing because
I agree.
honest, it's just like, what are you doing?
I always see all these gurus like right now with AI marketing and whatnot, and I'm like, and everybody tells me, Jonathan, why are you not talking about AI? I'm like, I use AI. I know what AI, but I use it to build.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna preach. If somebody wants to learn how to build with AI, I can help them out. But I'm not gonna be preaching like everybody do AI. Blah, blah. I'm like, if you want to use AI, use it, right?
Yeah.
But I always all these people, right? And right now they're quiet. I don't know if you noticed, like all of a sudden my social media is like these gurus are, hello, where are you?
Yeah.
And it's like something's happening that they themselves notice that
People
all
are getting tired, I think. They will see through that.
because it's like I always tell people when ChatGPT came out, I know a lot of people are gonna be pissed by this, but I always said that when somebody told me that I'm an AI expert, I felt that it's like years back somebody will tell me I'm a Google search expert. And I know it's not the same,
Yeah.
but that's how it feels because AI as a prompting skill is supposed to be so normal. It'll get to the point that it's the equivalent of searching. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that they're the same in execution, but it's supposed to be as mundane as Google search.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking
And people would sell these like prompting guides for $500. And you just, are you crazy?
Oh my God.
So, yeah, I would say just be honest with yourself because like you have to believe that what you offer is valuable. And if you don't, I don't think you can even sell it unless you are a shitty person. So don't be a shitty person.
I always keep saying this to everybody. AI multiplies, does not add that.
That's so, yeah.
And
That's such
it's
a
like what
good
you were
point.
saying.
Yeah.
So if you're selling air,
Yeah.
2 times 0 is 0.
Yeah.
2 times 1 is
Exactly.
2.
So,
If you have something,
yeah.
it'll help you out.
Yeah.
But,
So I think we should all just aim to create more value in the world.
true value.
True. And you will make money. Like that's something I guarantee. If you provide something valuable to a large enough group of people, there's no way you won't
Make money.
get like rich off it. That's just how the world works. It's very efficient. Like if you solve a problem for people, you will be rewarded. I think that's very true. So yeah, maybe that's the first one. The second thing I would say is like you have to be, again, as we were saying, very patient with results, but you also have to be impatient with action. So if you have an idea, just do it tomorrow. Because when you sit, I think that's such a big problem when you start. It's like, oh, if I want to start a channel, what should I do? What should the name be? It's like there's so much of this mental fighting with yourself. So just put it out there. Like just do it. Like there's no, I think I saw a quote recently that said, ready is not a feeling, it's a decision. And I was like, oh, that's such a good, like you just decide, just like today is the day. Yeah, and that's how we still operate. Like we're releasing a new tool actually just now. I think Shun is doing it. And it's not fully perfect, but we're like, we must release on Thursday. So we will put it out on Thursday. And so I think that mindset, like being patient with results but impatient with action, is something that's very helpful.
Interesting. Patient with results and patient with action.
Yeah.
Cha-ching.
Yeah, and lastly, maybe block people who don't inspire you because there's so much noise. And I also find
I learned that the hard way. Like I like having people around,
Yeah.
and there's a point that you need to cut people off
Yeah.
because they're feeding you with the wrong energy, and it's like it's not about them believing or not. It's just that it's okay. Think whatever you want. Just don't feed me that.
Exactly. I think your energy is very like you have to protect your energy.
Mhm.
You really have to protect it, and both online and offline, especially online. I think there's just too much noise now, and it's quite easy to get into the
Currently, I
all
just
of
go to social media for work.
mm,
I don't
yeah.
consume anymore.
Yeah.
Like
Try to consume less. We also recently hired a social media manager, and now her job was essentially scrolling and finding trends. And I'm so grateful that I don't have to do that anymore because it
I
was hard
can't.
for me.
There's so much happening
Yeah.
that is distracting.
Yeah.
I
And
get it.
it's so hard to, yeah, like you don't control what you consume. It's just there. And it's like, I didn't want to see it, but then I already, like, it's just there. And obviously you can read it. And I think it affects you. Like, it affects me a lot. So just being very protective of your digital space and your mental space. And yeah.
So, okay, so I'm gonna do my three last questions. So, first, what does it mean to be your own boss? Like, the,
Doesn't mean to be
what does it mean to be
boss.
your own boss?
Serving people.
That's okay. That's
I think
fine.
that's what it is. And I think it's, I mean, there's this, I think, selfish way to talk about it. It's like, oh, you set your own schedule and you do whatever you want, which I think is like not true. Like, look at my calendar. It's like,
Everybody tells me, "Oh, Jonathan, I want to be my own boss because I want to do manage my own time." I'm like,
you're like,
I have like a meme for this. I put it in social media.
no, because it's maybe in the beginning it's kind of true, but like once things start going, it's like you have the meetings, you have to be in places, and obviously you chose to do this thing. So I think it's very empowering. But day to day, like I wake up and I have a schedule.
I had
So
to change my
gotta do it.
meetings. Before I used to do 1 hour, like 1 hour schedule vlogs.
Yeah.
I had to change it to 30 minutes to be able to make things work.
Yeah.
Because if not, I'm like, just work crazy.
Yeah. So I think this whole thing of like flex, I mean, again, like I think it's important to know that it was self-inflicted. Like you chose this path, so I don't complain. But also, I don't want to tell people, "Oh, you're so flexible." Like that's not true. So I think to me, being your own boss is like you decide how you can serve people, and you decide how you
My
can.
partner always tells me,
Mm.
I'm just in the corner being like, oh my God, so much work. And then you chose this.
Yeah.
Remember?
That's
You chose it. And I was like,
It's. Can I read you my screensaver? So I had a bit of, like, I had a tough like month sometimes. So I'm still.
okay.
It's very nice. It's literally like I'm not making it up. It's here. What a privilege to be tired from work you once begged the universe for. What a privilege to feel overwhelmed by growth you used to dream about. What a privilege to be challenged by life you created on purpose. What a privilege to outgrow things you used to settle for. It's a little like Pinteresty, but it's a good reminder to me. Like it's a privilege to
I need that. And I'm going to coach you.
I'm gonna send you the screenshot. It's good. Like when I'm angry, I look at it and I'm like, I wanted to be busy. Like I wanted to have meetings and I wanted to do this. So I think it's important. But yeah, I think to answer your question, to be your own boss is you choosing what value you can provide for the world. Like nobody tells you how to. Yeah, nobody tells you what to provide. Like I think that's my point. It's like I see this problem, I want to fix it in one way because there's different ways. You can.
Yeah.
Like I could have provided expensive college counseling services to rich kids and be like, oh, I'm helping them get into college, but like, that's not my way of solving it.
Yeah. I get
So you having that decision to change the world in the way that you want it changed. Okay, I'm getting very like fluffy, but
No.
you know what I
It's
mean? Like,
it is.
there's a certain vision that you think how the world should be, and then you are trying to get there. And I think it's very powerful.
Yeah. You want to do something, and because you're your own boss,
Yeah.
you can do it.
Yeah.
And nobody affects you on that process.
Yeah.
I get it. Definitely. If you could go back to your younger self.
I'm still young. Excuse me.
Oh. So if you could go back to your younger self and be able to tell you something to help you out, have a better start, or what would that be?
I guess that eventually it somehow works out. I mean, I'm still like, if you look at my startup path, I'm maybe like 1 or 2% in, but whatever felt impossible in the moment, somehow it worked out. So I think that's just what it is. And I think you kind of build that confidence once you get through more shit. You're like, oh, I can handle it. So I guess I'll just tell her like, you'll handle whatever comes. one way or another. Sometimes not as graceful as you
Yeah,
wish,
sometimes-
but you know, you get
Sometimes we need that, you know.
Yeah.
And somebody, I wish I could come from the future and be like, it's all gonna be
yeah,
okay.
it'll be
Just go through it.
yeah,
The pain will pass.
Yeah.
This too shall pass.
exactly. This too shall pass. It's so simple, but that is very much true because in the moment sometimes like like this is the worst that has ever happened, but then you just get through it, and then your benchmark for like pain.
Desire, the threshold.
yeah. So,
Definitely. So, what's next for you and Borderless?
next, now we're actually in the most exciting period because we're a very seasonal business that's centered around college application deadlines. And now is like the busiest 3 months of the year. So we're actually expecting to quadruple our user count. We are also expanding to non-US destinations. So we will be able to send people to, the mission is all over the world. For now, it's only been the US because we went to US schools, but we're expanding beyond the US. So I think we'll actually have the best 3 months of the year. And yeah, I'm just really excited. I don't know if you guys are on TikTok, but it's called the Great Lock-in Period.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no.
I'm gonna start. Don't worry. I started following you like in things today, but don't worry. I'll be following you guys. Now.
Yeah, no, but it's like you know how TikTok has these like
Yeah.
technologies and trends. So because September is when you go back to school, and you also have, I think now we're less than 100 days away from the year end. It's like the Great Lock-in Period where you're like gonna accomplish all your goals for the year and actually get things done. So I feel that energy of like time to do what I wanted to do. So yeah.
So before we wrap, where can people find you and learn more about Borderless?
So Borderless is borderless.so. We wanted to do .com. It was taken, and it was $25,000 if you want to purchase the domain. So yeah, so SO is actually Somalia, but Notion was SO, so we bought SO as well. See, it's borderless.so on website, Instagram, TikTok, and then my socials is it's Veronica Lee, also everywhere.
We'll put it
Wow.
on the description.
Thank you. Yeah, I do try to vlog a bit about my founder journey, a little bit of tips. So if people
Want to follow you? Don't worry. We'll help you out. And well, Veronica, thank you for joining me today, and thanks to all of you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe and share it with your friends, and connect with us online. And remember that being your own boss is more than just a position; it's more of attitude. So see you next episode, guys.
Thank you.